You know, I'm not usually this blunt when making those videos, but this is one of the best Super Nintendo games I have ever played. Marvelous, Another Treasure Island, was released quite late in the Super Nintendo's life, in 1996. The Saturn, PlayStation and Nintendo 64 were already available by then. Still, as it often happens when a game is released late in a console's life, people know how to draw out the best the hardware has to offer, and that's the case with this game. It's one of the handful of games that use the high-resolution capabilities of the Super Nintendo. You can see it was heavily inspired by A Link to the Past, which is not a bad thing. Sadly, it was never released outside Japan, but thankfully there is a quite recent translation patch that makes the whole game fully playable, even with in-game graphics translated. Long ago, the seas were ruled by greedy pirates. The most famous of these is the legendary Captain Maverick. His treasure, known as Marvelous, is said to be guarded by unsolvable puzzles and bizarre creatures. Those who go searching for it are never seen again. Or so they say. The game actually takes place in the present days, following the adventures of Dion, Max, and Jack as they go to summer camp on an isolated island. There you have fun doing all sorts of camp activities like playing soccer, fishing, gathering wood and going around just exploring the island. Then things get slightly out of hand when you realize you're not the only ones in this island. And what happens next? Well, I guess you're gonna have to play it to see for yourself. Like I said before, this game was heavily inspired by A Link to the Past, and you can see the whole style and gameplay mechanics are quite similar, but that is where the similarities end. Even though you have a health bar, there is no actual combat in this game. It's a mix of puzzles and exploring with some action sequences here and there to make things interesting. So if you die, that means you did something wrong. And you did it again and again until you ran out of health. You can set up one character as the leader and go around as a group, or you can control each one individually, while the others are on hold. Each character has different skills and it's up to you to decide who should be doing what. Every skill you have and you can use in this game is defined by the items each character can use. For example, Max gets the swimming goggles early in the game, meaning he's the only one who can dive underwater. Dion gets a baseball and a glove, meaning he's the only one that can hit targets far away. Jack gets a fishing rod, and you get the idea. Exploring and investigating is done in a very interesting way in this game. Whenever you press A menu pops up with several options. By using the first one, you get to interact with objects in a point-and-click kind of way. So the clues won't always be in an obvious position with a glow showing it's important. You have to be curious to check out what's important and what's not. Like, for example, Sometimes all you need to do is investigate. Sometimes you need to use items or show things to people, and you can also use this to check out things in the distance. Also available in there is the teamwork mechanic. Often in the game you need all three characters to solve a problem. Could it be either moving something that is too heavy to move by yourself, or maybe reach a high location by climbing on each other's shoulders, something like that. The variety of puzzle solutions and how they are presented in this game is just amazing. You rarely get bored because a puzzle is too dull or there's no point in doing it. You're always solving a problem or helping someone. The characters are all very charismatic, and it really makes you feel like there's a purpose to everything you do in this game. It's hard not to like this game. The story and characters get more and more interesting as you play it, and the gameplay and puzzles always have something different to offer, and you rarely get bored while doing so. When I make these videos, I'm usually suggesting something that might be interesting for you to play, but I know it depends on what kinds of games you enjoy or not. But this is one of those games that I think everyone should try. Regardless of it being of a genre you enjoy or not, it's one of the best Super Nintendo games I have ever played, and it's one I think everyone should give a second chance to.